I'm now going to talk briefly about Norwegian radio history. Broadcasting in Norway started in 1925 by a privately owned company, and later the state got monopoly of it in 1933 when NRK was made. NRK stands for Norsk Rikskringkasting, or in English it would be Norwegian Broadcasting Corporation. It still exists to this day, and we still have the mandatory fee we have to pay for each TV apparatus. Before we had to pay license fee for each radio we owned or so, but now we have just pay preset sum for everything, so we don't have to pay for each device anymore. And in the 9th of April 1940, Norway got occupied by the Germans. It took 2 days or so, and almost the whole of Norway were occupied. The attack orders were sent out per post. Yeah, they sent out the orders with post. That, of course, took many days, and what confused people the most were that when Norway got attacked, we had a person called Vidkun Quisling, which were the leader of the Norwegian equivalent of the Nazi party. He immediately ran up to the NRK headquarters and sent out a radio broadcasting declaring himself the Prime Minister of Norway and declaring all other parties illegal, and withdrew the attack orders on the German army. And that, of course, confused many, as they got an order to attack and they did not, and at the same time they got the order not to attack. And around 1941, the German occupation confiscated every radio in Norway. They went from house to house and collected in every device people owned. My neighbor, which is around 90 years old now, she still have a radio from the 30s, which they hid from the German occupation during the war, which is quite rare, as the punishment for getting caught with having a radio would be sent to one of the local work or concentration camps we had in Norway. At the worst case, you would be deported to Germany or Poland in one of the working camps there. We have a lot of camps here in Norway. Most famous one would be Grini, which is located near our capital, Oslo. And when the Germans capitulated in 8th of May 1945, people discovered the warehouses where they stored the radios and found that almost everything were destroyed, as they scrapped them for parts and just threw them in piles. So that's why many as it's rare to find radios predating the war here in Norway, as not many concealed them during the war, and those who had concealed radios also very often built them themselves inside the tables, in the floor, etc. So they're not proper radio casings. Yeah, that were a brief history of Norwegian radio history during the war, and it shows really how important it was with radios during the wartime, as the government fled to London in England, the king and the government, and they sent broadcastings each week or so where they had speeches and minor updates for the rebellions and so in Norway. And the Germans did not want the people to listen to this. And Vidkun Quisling is also the last person to be executed in Norway. At the the last person to be executed, along with 12 other people. He got executed for treason against the kingdom. Thank you for watching.